Hey, this is Ashlyn, former co-host of the Top 10 Recovery podcast, The Betrayed, the Addicted, and the Expert. I have had my challenges, but I am also living proof that joy is possible, even when life does not go as planned. I'm excited to share with you real examples of living a life full of adventure, true healing, and freedom, no matter how messy life gets. Each episode, I will introduce you to someone I love and respect to talk about ways to be the buffalo and to face your storms in different areas of life. Got a question this week that I wanted to answer here and give you a challenge because it is a question that I got in one of my women's groups for healing after betrayal. And these women are working really hard to make changes in their life, to shift patterns, and to create change. And yet they find themselves not seeing progress, not feeling it, and feeling frustrated, or I need some sign. I need what they want, is what they said. You know, Ashlyn, when you post these pictures of what you look like when you were maybe at my worst, we can admit that. And then where I'm at now, you can physically see the change in my face. How do I get that? And here's where I believe the answer is. It's in the data. Now, keep in mind, whatever change you are trying to make in your life, it could be fitness. It could be your nutrition. These are my world too. It could be your marriage, your relationship. Maybe it's just your own work that you are doing with inner child. Doesn't matter what your change is, parenting, co-parenting, whatever. The fact that you are trying is important, but you need data. I'm really good at data. I'm really good at that because I have this weird job where I track myself. And so most of us aren't going to have a photo of our worst time because who's going to do that except someone who's thinking, I feel really crappy. And I am going to document this because there's a time where I'm not going to feel this crappy. That's me. And there's a lot of you out there who do this. And I actually shared a lot of women who were brave enough to share their before and after. And it's not even an after, it's like before and current shift. But these women were brave enough to share it on my social media without a backstory. You don't even need a backstory of why you were in your low and why you were climbing up the high. But I would say start. Okay. It's the end of the year. It's the end of what year is it? 2021. And I have a lot of data to go off of. I can go and look at my journal, which I use. I teach these women in group to use a journal as a tool. So in the beginning, we're saying, hey, use your journal every day. Most people hate journaling because we're taught to do it so differently than how I do it. I do it how my therapist, Amy, taught me, which is to be prompted. So I start with checking my feelings. I have a whole nother podcast about this, checking my feelings. And then I check the narratives because this chatter in my brain can make up so many stories and send me into spiral. And I know when I'm spiraling, I need to get it on paper or it's going to stay stuck in my head like a broken record or build mountains out of molehills. And so I write down all those crazy narratives that I can have. Some are based in truth. And that's where I have to go to the next step. And I have to find what is true. So some of those narratives may be true. Remember, I said they are based in truth. It doesn't mean they are true. I could be building lots of things. I then go from truth to find what I can do about it. So there are things that I can call people. I can use my senses. I can go on a walk. I can get out. There's so many things I can do to get out of that headspace. And I used them yesterday. I use all my tools because I was feeling a lot of feelings. So we talk about those things. Journaling is incredibly important. Most of us hate it because we're doing it in a way that doesn't serve us. We're also worried that someone's going to read it. There's just so many things. So a lot of times I journal in my phone on my notes. It's not ideal. It is always better pen to paper because it's slowing down your brain, making us think and helping us process. But there's times when I just want to type it out or I want to talk it out, and I'll use type text and I just process verbally for myself while I'm driving. It's fantastic. So I want you, this journaling is a tool for me. I have this pattern that I can see where I see the highs and my lows in my journal. I also track my cycle and my emotions and the things that I'm feeling in my body over on another app for women in their cycle. And so I have all this data that I can go and look and say, why am I feeling so many feelings that are really uncomfortable, really heavy and hard? If I slow down enough, there are plenty of reasons usually why I'm feeling the way I feel. I'm not crazy. I have valid, and a lot of things I say to myself are, that makes sense. It's validation for myself because no one else can give me that validation. And I soothe myself. It makes sense why I feel the way I do because of my past trauma, because of how I view the world, and because of the actual reality of what is happening. Okay. So these things that I have in my life, I have photos, I have journal entries, and I have this app that is tracking my health and the way that I feel. I can use and pull together as data, and I can look at it and say, okay, I don't feel like I'm making progress. These women who are saying, I can feel me like making changes in my relationship or showing up differently as a parent or really pushing myself, being the buffalo. I want to see it. So this is my challenge to you. If you are feeling that, I want you to do this activity. Now, if you've been with me long enough, you know, I worked out at the gym. I started working out for my emotional health. I worked out there for a year and a half without seeing any results, like zero results physically. Mentally, emotionally, I felt great. But there comes a point where, and I get this all the time with my fitness and nutrition clients, where they come to those group calls and they're like, I'm doing the things. I'm working so hard and I'm not changing my body. And that's where we have to go and find other things. So this activity is kind of that. Maybe you don't have these huge indicators that you are doing fantastic things or that 2021 was a year of change for you. But my guess is it was. So the challenge is this. I want you to get out a piece of paper and I want you to write down some of the things that you have noticed in yourself. This is your patting on your back. You're going to be your own cheerleader here. You can share them with me. DM me, send them to me. Go email me. I don't care. Share them with me. I will be your cheerleader. If you do not have one in your life or you're embarrassed, you don't want to share, I don't know. Send it to me. I care. Because seeing our own progress is so important, because when everyday life, we sometimes don't notice, we don't slow down enough. Our life is busy, or we get into another argument, or we fall into another pattern and we just feel frustrated. But the fact that I can show up in these situations that used to bring me so much grief and pain, and I can stand strong and not get emotional, not react, those are winning moments. And those are the things that I'm going to track. And end of the year, this is how great I did. Instead of, it's the end of the year, I wish I could do better. Here's all my goals for next year. You can do that too. But for me, it's more important for me to count the good, the wins, to congratulate myself, to pat myself on the back, and to really see change. You have to see it. You have to slow down. So that is my challenge to you. Reach out if you don't have anyone to share it with, and I will cheer you on. I will share it. If you want to share your stuff, your progress photos, let's make another reel. Let's share them and send them to me over on Instagram. And I'm happy to encourage others, because that's what it does. I share these weird things on social media for myself, but I also know that it helps others. I wish I had my own stuff back, 15 years ago when I was in so much heartache and felt so alone. I wish I knew that there was other options. So that's why I'm here. I hope to see you again in 2022. Thanks for being here with me today, whether I was with you doing your dishes while you got ready or driving in your car. If you found a nugget in this episode, please take 30 seconds. You can click on the link below in the show notes and leave me a quick review over on iTunes, or you can share on social media or shoot me an email. It offers me your support without you having to spend a dime or much of your time. Until next time, be the buffalo.